self-made millionaire here, help so many women not only lose weight, but regain their freedom, like literally generational lineage pain, feminine wounds that they pay gazillions of dollars for, they get here. Are you kidding me? Just for like a weight loss program? Yes. 15 years in the game. Here's the deal. I just realized why I was so frustrated selling weight loss, even though I'm really good at it. I'm a fitness coach, fitness model, been in magazines, everything. Women come here when white coats can't fix their doctors tell you you're normal bullshit. Women leave, they don't even have hormonal issues anymore. Like they come in with Hashimoto's, they leave without it. How's that possible? Because I'm magic, man. This is so easy for me. And actually, when you're ready for weight loss to be easy, you'll work with me. So if you're still in your you'll keep buying other programs. And mine's super inexpensive. It's not something you're going to pay a lot of money for. Do I have high ticket coaching? Of course. You know, my time's valuable, but for you to get your results, it's so inexpensive. Links in the bio. But check this out. Those of you that like money, those of you that are like me, like A-type people, you're going to feel so seen and heard. All right. So this lady was messaging back, and for a long time, I had resentment. For a long time, I had so much resentment. I tried to burn my business down. I was making like $2 million a year, and I was like, I don't want to talk about weight loss because it's never about weight loss. Because right now, if you're struggling with your weight or your body or energy or something's off and you don't know why, it's always trauma. It's always your nervous system, your wiring, your body doesn't feel safe. So you stay in overdrive, you're not eating enough, you're busy, you're taking care of everything. You are living in survival mode. So it's how do you get out of that? You've been programmed for survival mode. So I had to create a tool, a tech tool, and I created my own AI that decodes everything. So if you talk to it and tell it what's going on, it'll even read your body and tell you what's going on, tell you hidden traumas. It's a trauma-informed approach to weight loss. Mind, body, spirit. You can do all the mindset shit you want. You can do all the spiritual shit you want, all the feminine you want. And until you understand how to fully be in your body, which is not safe for you, because if your body was safe, you would not have cellulite where you don't want it. You would not be extremely overweight. It would be easy for you. The reason it's not easy for you is because you just don't feel safe. Is it about weight loss? No, that is the clickbait. That is what you want. That's what I should sell you based on marketing. I should only sell you what you want. So who wants to lose a bunch of weight? Sign up. Links in the bio. It's easy. So why didn't you do it? It's your nervous system. You start going into, what do I got to do? You literally, all your comes to the surface and talks you out of not doing it, because knowing damn good you watch me and go, this friend, this girl that I'm watching, she knows, like she is saying something I've never heard another weight loss coach say. Right. So there's a part of you that knows I'm the real McCoy, but you're not honoring that. You're not honoring that. Why? Okay. I'm not here to convince you. I really don't care. If you want to stay overweight, toxic, miserable, unhappy, and just feel like you get off on being the martyr, might be my guest. Like, go ahead. I'm for the women who are more like me, who says, I don't buy into white coats. Okay. I don't buy into white coats. I am moral. I'm holistic. I'm very preventative. I'm pro health, all these things. And I take care of myself to the best of my knowledge. So if something's off with my health, I start looking into it. I have all the right resources. Been in the game 15 years. My health this is why I have this offer. I love health. If I sold business, if I sold widgets, I would still be taking care of myself, and people would probably be asking me like, what do you do for your body? What are you doing? And then I would end up saying, God, everybody asked me this, so let me just sell it. So here I am selling weight loss, even though it's not about weight loss. It's about your trauma that you don't even know you have. You don't feel free. You're living under all these conditions and illusions, and you're trying to be the good girl and the good wife and trying to get it right. You're trying too hard. That's why you can't lose weight. And it's so easy. This is so easy. And the reason it's not easy is because you have trauma. It's it. Why is your hormones? You have trauma. Why is everything in your life feels like it's hard and you feel like there's no time and you feel like everybody is easier? Because you have trauma. And until you're ready to acknowledge that, sure, we'll give you the hormones. We'll give you exactly what to do, but I'll tell you what you're not going to do. The same you've done before that didn't work. Now, when I was talking to the lady today, it was very short. She asked a question. She was nice. She was asking typical lady questions. She was asking all the questions, just dancing around, taking action, because she knows, and you know, that when you take action, you start working with my Hot Mom's AI and you tap into the frequency, things are going to start shifting. You're going to be like, oh my God, this is why I've struggled. This is why I had no way. This is why. All these things are going to just, holy shit, I have found my place, is what's going to happen when you start working with. Link is in the bio. Now, this lady asked a question, and I sent back a message that responded. I'm going to read it to you. Here's what it said to her. And this is why those of you in business, those of you who like to make money, those of you who are like me, who here likes to be to be sure, 'cause some of you do, clearly, because you can't stop eating sugar because you are trying to numb out pain because you don't know how to sit with your no judgment, no shame, but let's be big girls here. Your emotions will not kill you. It's safe. We've all been there. I've been an addict to sugar. That's why I can say all these things. So anybody that wants to say that I'm shaming somebody, off and go clear the shame within yourself. Stop projecting. So here's how I answered her question. Now, you tell me which one you like, and do not lie to me and say you like the one that you think I'm going to, because you're still a people pleaser and you just want to be like Casey's teacher pet, because I know you're telling the truth or not. That's the scary part about me, is I know you better than you know yourself. But that's why a lot of women like to pay me, is because I know I can see everything, and it makes it real easy for you. All right, here's what I told her, and I think that it's going to resonate with a lot of you. I said, here's the Casey Ship hard truth. You do not need another reset. You don't even need more supplements. You do not even need to learn how to get it right or the exact right steps. What you need to do is stop waiting to feel like the woman who gets to feel good. I said, you already know. Your body's not broken. She's just done being ignored. And your body, and this I'm not reading now, but your body is showing where you have not loved yourself. You're overweight because you don't eat enough. And when you do eat enough, it's the wrong, because you never took time to learn what you do need to do. And then you never took time for yourself. Why? Because you don't know how to love yourself, because it was never modeled, because you didn't have a mother that gave you the nurturing that you actually needed. It wasn't her fault. It's up to you now. This is why I had The Good Mother, the whole thing, the blog. If you didn't read it, go. It's in the highlights on my Instagram bio. But I said the weight that you're holding is because deep down you're scared of being hot. You're scared of being radiant. You're scared of being turned the on. You're scared of turning heads. And you're scared of the power that it's going to make someone else leave or make someone else uncomfortable. Or your power is going to actually cause somebody to judge you, or it'll be all taken away again. You're also afraid of asking for more. I said, so what do? You pad, you put on weight, you stall. You say, just one more test. I need to just try this one more supplement. Just one more day. Just let me let the kids come back to, whatever the hell they're doing. And you just wait till you're ready. I said, who would you, if you stopped managing symptoms and started claiming your body, what would you shift if you acted like your energy was your number one business strategy? The number one. Those of you that don't have business, I don't know, mommy strategy, house manager strategy, whatever strategy. You love plans. We all like it. What would you shift if you acted like your energy was the number one strategy? And then I said, what would you become? What would become possible if you decided that your body was already on your side and working? So I asked her these questions, and I said, you don't need more time, because she was trying to put it off and all this other, okay? I said, you need more truth. You need more freedom. You need more permission. You don't need more data, okay? You need more decisions that anchor you in freedom. And I said, and here's what we're going to do. You wanting to, what do I do next? Let me just tell y'all something else that may piss you off, but you're also here because you're drinking in truth, like Casey, tell me, a little birdie, you want this truth? What do I do next? Do you know what women who get results do? They go click links. They go click links. They don't about the link's hard to get to. It's easy. If you go to my Instagram bio, if you have a brain cell, hey, hot moms, this girl, let me go look and see. But this lady's probably an employee. Employees don't think like that. Employees don't think like that. Women who I like to work with who have brain cells, they go click links. They don't say, what do I do next? They buy and once they're in, they're like, hey, okay, I like this, or what you got over there? That's the women that get results. So I said, you asking what to do next is a delay tactic in high heels. Not even Christian Louboutins, like some ugly Payless heels, okay? I said, there's no mystery here. You already know Hot Moms AI gives you the blueprint. It tells you what supplements to take, shows your nervous system, so you can finally get the results without trying so hard. I said, you already said yes. She literally did. Oh my God, this is amazing. It told me, like, these scans give that doctors and the best coaches and life coaches can never even touch. Thank you. I created it. I said, so you already feel this, so why don't you stop outsourcing your readiness and click the link and join the best female, fueled, full permission, break the rules, get healthy without trying so hard mastermind. And so then I came back and something in my body felt contracted. This is where those of you in business and sales and intuitive sales and follow my Millionaire Matrix, because you like money and you don't like being like every other basic on the internet, and you don't like being boxed into rules and strategies of how you should be doing it and how all the internet marketers are doing it, Jesus Christ. I had this contraction in my body and I was like, why does this feel scary? I was like, I feel like I'm going to scare her off. I feel like I'm going to scare her away. And I was like, all right, this is why I don't like weight loss, because I can't be myself, because I speak like that. Like, what do you me? I just gave you a God, like literally God came down and gave you a blueprint, told you like your trauma and exactly what to do. And you're going to ask me all these questions about like which food test you should buy and ask what to do next. You click the link. Like, and the link was even in the email. It's crazy, right? So I felt bad and I was like, all right, let me regroup. Let me actually do this, because women who I understand, women that I like working with, business owners, entrepreneurs, and even if they're career women, they're like higher level career women, and or they're a little rough around the edges. They're, how do I word this? Not even thick skin. They're just go-getters. They're just the that you, if you're out somewhere, you want to be with them because you're gonna figure it out. They're gonna figure it out. Like, these are the women I like working with. They're purpose-driven females, heart-centered, soul-led, not normies that just tell me what to do. I'm scared of COVID kind of people. I don't like this kind of people. I don't want to work with people. I said, listen, I feel bad. I feel bad for unleashing the fire. I normally speak to my business clients this way, but the fact you're here for health and fitness, let me just soften it a bit. And I said, first of all, your clarity and confidence about what you're feeling, because she got back and said, this is exactly what I'm feeling. Yay, because some women are like, what that thing talking about? What does that even mean? Hell, I ain't stressed. Oh, Jesus. We see it all here. It's like Walmart sometimes, I swear. I said, let me soften it a bit. And I said, this is what happens when your body finally feels seen. We're just getting started. I said, the nervous system resets. So I had to go into the mode that I hate. I'm not a student. I am not a good student. I hate school. As I was just writing my book, like every chapter I get into, I realize more and more. I was like, I was so not supposed to be in public school or just any like regular school system. And the problem is when you're around other people who are in the system and you're like me, you feel really up and really not, you can't be yourself. So this is why like I teach business now and I'm coming out blazing, just working with other women like me, because we hate boxes. We hate being put in boxes. Nobody puts baby in the corner. So I said, I gave her a breakdown of the nervous system reset. This is where your control wound and you know, their audios and protocols you can get. They're here, and the tools that rewire your exact. I gave her all the little check marks, and all these women that have control freak syndrome because their bodies put on fat because they need to control everything so that they feel safe, but they're not safe, and that's why they're fat. It's like a one big show, and I've got to figure out how I can speak and get around this surrender moment so she sees it and feels safe enough to buy. Where's the Tylenol? So I give her all the sweet little check marks about what's in the program, even though it's on the sales page that she could have clicked. This is why she can't lose weight. This is why, if you're watching this, you can't lose weight. Period. End of story. Okay. I said, once you're inside of Hot Moms, here's what's going to happen. And don't worry. We cry together and share tampons once we're in there. I'm a trauma-informed coach, and I hold space for massive spiritual healing. So get off my for a second. All right. And it says, it'll tell you which supplements to take. It'll help your body. Your body's going to respond to shifts, your overwhelmed brain, all this stuff, all the routines, everything's literally custom to you. I said, here's where it gets fine. And I just softened the message with AI. I took what I wanted to say and I said, here, AI, soften this because she's not my ideal. This is not the business offer. This is Hot Moms, right? And look, I get plenty of women that I absolutely love to work with in Hot Moms. We get women all the time that sign up. They don't even talk to me. They go straight and they buy the annual and they like get in the 999 and I don't even hear from them. And then they'll show up in the win section like, hey, I lost 12 pounds. I'm not even doing anything. Those are my people. Jesus, bring me some word. God, Mary, Joseph, God, Goddess, all of it. Pachamama, bring me those women. Thank you. Thank you. So I was like, I told her, I said, so which one do you like? Do you like, which energy do you prefer? The truth-telling fire, soul activating, or the more softer approach? She goes, oh, I think a mix of both energies would best land for me. I value straightforward telling truth, but I'm also in a place where grace and softness are just as important. And listen, that's true. This is why I created The Good Mother yesterday, and I put it out for sale. Because all of us had moms. They did the best they could, listen, but they all were like most of us before you find this work. It's just like me right now. You could say I'm not being very nurturing. Sometimes, I don't know if you've ever sat with like plant medicine, like maybe some ayahuasca or something. But if you have, let me just give it to you. It's the most powerful mother that you can ever sit with. And sometimes she's not fun. Sometimes she'll spank that out. She has to take you to the darkness for the contrast because we are dark. You cannot have good nurturing, and that's the problem. People think that being a good woman and a good mother and a good all this is somebody who's soft-spoken all the time, who just moves like this, never shows emotion. Who in the hell, what are we? Like some Stepford robot, June Cleaver? I'm sorry. I tried to take antidepressants one time and wanted to kill myself because they just made me so miserable. And what? That's the problem. I need more nurturing. She needs me. Most of you women need me, need Casey to speak a little bit different so you feel safe enough. You need to learn how to mother your self and stop telling everybody around you to act different so you feel safe. Control ass. That's why you ain't losing no weight. That's why things are hard. Stop telling people that they need to change how they are, or if they just they're was a little bit different. Take the words out of it. What does the energy feel like? Does it feel, oh, I'm scared? Why? Because that people pleasing you got going on doesn't work with me. Why? Because that fake ass facade you got of being happy all the time and being little yes ma'am and just doesn't work with me. Probably. So I'm just in a softness area. This cool that she's being vulnerable. And I'm not going to take advantage of any woman's vulnerability. Listen, if I see a woman in a vulnerable space, I think that's where we come in. That's where we come in. And that's why I have a heart for this. But I'm giving it straight to you today because it has to be said. She goes, to make sure I fully understand, the steps you've outlined are part of the upgrade. And she's asking all this, asking way too many questions. She's a control freak. This is why she's got a lot of weight packed on. She's protecting herself from the most vulnerable areas. All these questions she's asking me are not because she actually wants to know. She thinks she needs to ask all this to make a good decision to stay in control. So then it can be something goes wrong. When really, she needs to get started and dive straight into the abyss of her own. So if you can handle this, my friends, you've got what it takes and you're going to get great results. You're going to get great, excellent results. Period, end of story. But you got to be willing to look way past the bullshit that I just said. Because it's all asking all these questions and how does this and that and the other. Man, you're going to have to just stop. That's why you're fat. That's why there's body fat all over you and you can't get it off and you can't show up for your self. You're not motivated and you're too busy. Then you're going to ask me all these questions. I'm here for the women who actually want help and you click the link. You click the link. Worst case scenario, you don't do it. But it's not my fault. You blame yourself. You say, hey, you know what? I signed up, tried it, not that. Gonna go to Peru next year and smoke some toad venom. Maybe that'll work. Let's all grow up. Let's all grow up and become the mother and the sister and the daughter that we never had. And we stop telling people they need to speak a little differently so we feel safe. The people she's around in her life right now, including herself, is not safe. She came to me to feel safe. So I'm just gonna leave that right there. And I will be back with you girls in Millionaire Matrix, that I love to talk to. And listen, I like to talk to those of you at Hot Moms. But those of you who know who I'm talking to right now and you feel it deep within your bones, who you get triggered by Casey's just a little too this, maybe that's why you're just a little too much and you feel like you're just a little too whatever the you think. I am just a projection of what's inside of you. That's it. I'm showing you, literally, you're welcome. I am showing you what needs to be healed. I am showing you the illumination pathway. The illumination pathway. Click the link or not.